All right, so when you first show up at your assembly line to pack the one meals, the first thing you'll make sure you do, maybe before you come in or at your table, you're gonna have a hand sanitizer. So please make sure your hands are sanitized or clean. You'll also be handed out, depending on your role on the assembly line, you may need to wear gloves. So there should be 3 pairs of these gloves at every assembly line for the people that are handling the lentils, the rice, or the dehydrated vegetables. I'm just gonna go ahead and place these on right now. So as a line leader, you should notice that your assembly line is gonna look like this. And so you'll wanna take your cups and place it 1 each for the lentils and the rice. You'll have an extra tablespoon, and that's gonna go in your dehydrated vegetable bin. The other thing that you're gonna do before everyone arrives is to ensure that these bowls are filled about 1/3 of rice, and I'll explain a little bit later why that's important. And then from there, you're gonna have your volunteers arrive. Now, the most important job that you have as a line leader is not only overseeing the line and the quality of the meals that are being packed, but also it's very important, in fact, it's probably the most important thing, is to ensure everyone is having a great time being able to serve. And so please interact with your other volunteers, get to know one another, share about trips that you may have taken, share about global poverty and ways that you can help address that. But please make sure that you engage with everyone involved and that people are interacting. I've also had some groups, they'll develop a cheer for every time they pack a meal box, that they'll give out a rousing cheer of excitement. Other groups, they'll even do job rotations where someone might be getting tired of doing the same thing over and over again and they want to rotate their job. So feel free to have fun at your table, all right? So the first volunteer job that I'm going to explain, or the role, is holding the one meal bag. And what they're going to do is take the one meal bag and place a vitamin packet in it. Now the vitamin packet goes in fully sealed. Do not open the vitamin packet. Make sure the vitamin packet settles to the bottom, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be hard to seal the bag. This role for the person that's gonna hold the bag does not need to wear these gloves, okay? And then what comes next is that they're gonna hold the bag underneath the yellow funnel like so, once the vitamins are in. The next ingredient that goes in, and it goes in orders of nutritional importance, so first vitamins, then comes the lentils. Now the lentils, I fill it up just a little bit below the rim, okay? So like so. We'll pour that in next. So it goes vitamins, lentils, and then comes the dehydrated vegetables. So the dehydrated vegetables is just 1 full level scoop, like so. The next item to go into down the yellow funnel, and the last item is the rice. So I'll put in just almost about a level scoop of rice. From there, the person that's holding the one meal bag is then gonna pass it down the line and to the next station, which is gonna be the scales. So the next volunteers are gonna be people at the scales. Now there's gonna be 2 volunteers, 1 at each scale. They're first gonna turn on their scales by hitting the on-off button, and it should say 0 Gs. Please note that we turn on the scales with the white tray on the scale. So make sure it says 0 Gs with the scale, with the tray on the scale. And from there, go ahead and place the one meal bag, and it should weigh between 390 to 395 grams. Now in this instance, this one's a little bit overweight, and so if it is overweight, I'll just go ahead and take some of the rice out and place it into these overflow bins. Or if it was too light, I would add more rice to the one meal bag. Now it's very important for the people at the scales to collaborate with the person that's doing the rice. If they notice that, hey, the last 2 or 3 bags I've gotten of one meal, it's all weighs about 20 grams overweight, right? I'm gonna make sure I collaborate with the person doing the rice to tell them a little bit less rice. Or if these were underweight, a little bit more rice. So that by the time you're moving along with making these one meal bags, the person that's actually handling the rice will know exactly how much rice they should be putting in because they're collaborating with the people at the scales. Okay? Once you're at the right weight on the one meal bag, it then gets passed down to the people at the sealers. If the sealers are actually getting too busy, these are overflow bins, the shoebox bins right here. From here, at the sealers, they'll go ahead and grab the one meal bag, pull it tight on both ends, place the bag underneath the sealer with the orange line is, and they're going to use that as their sealing line. Press down on the sealer for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and that should form a nice tight seal. Now the thing is, what I've seen in the past is some people, they're talking and they're getting to know their neighbor, which is great, but they're holding down the sealer the whole time. What's going to happen is that it will burn right through the bag. And you don't want to do that. So just hold it down, quick count of 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3 should be more than enough, right? Other people will notice that your sealer does have a gauge or a scale that goes from 1 to 8. It's not the measure of heat. It measures seconds. So your sealer should be at about 3 seconds. From the sealing station, once it's sealed, you're then going to pass it on to the people at the grids. So here at the grid station, you may have 2 or 3 people back here at the grid station. What they're going to do is as they collect the one meal bags, they're going to place 2 in every one of these squares. They'll start out with the first layer, right? And I'll usually put it down, upside down, like so. You're going to have other bags on here. And then once, if I have the time, or I'll have another volunteer, help me with the lot labels. Now the lot labels will simply get placed onto the bag right above where it says Made in USA, like so. So for the volunteers at the grid station, once they receive the bags, they're going to place the bags double stacked, 2 deep in every one of these grids. Now there's 18 squares here, so there's going to be 36 bags on this grid once it's full. Each one of the bags are going to have a lot label on it. And then it's going to go possibly to another volunteer. And they're going to be making these boxes with the tape gun that's provided. Once your box is made, there is a location where it says event ID lot number for one of these lot labels. So you're going to place that right here. It's optional whether or not you place the date and the location because the lot label has that information on it. So please make sure every box has a lot label on it. You'll also notice that each box holds 36 bags and no more. And so even though when you put the bags in the box, there might be extra space, that's okay. Please do not put more than 36 bags in each box because each box is weighed and it's the way we send it out overseas. Once this grid is filled with all 36 bags, you're literally just gonna slide them into the box. It's going to look like a very messy room, but that's okay because it'll get rid of any of the air pockets. So just slide them all in there, and then you'll be able to close up the box and then tape it with your tape gun. And from there, there'll be another volunteer that'll be going around to pick up the box and bring it to the pallets. Thank you. If you're an assembly line leader for the last shift in your meal packing, it's very important to note during that last shift, you may start running out of ingredients for your assembly line. You may run out of vitamins, you may run out of lentils or rice, run very low on veggies. If that's the case, that is normal because most likely we brought just enough ingredients to meet your meal packing goal. So during that last shift, you'll need to start collaborating with the other assembly lines. So if you're running low on vitamin packets, and you notice that there's not additional vitamin packets out in the supply area, then look at other assembly lines and see if they have an abundance of vitamin packets and borrow from them. Same with the rice and the lentils and any other the ingredients or lot labels and so forth. The other thing to note too is that if your line finishes packing their allotment of meals, and because your line's just doing fantastic, and there's some other assembly lines that are still packing their allotment of meals, then go ahead and share whatever ingredients you have left. So whether it be taking some additional rice that you have left as you clean up, or lentils and vitamins and whatnot, go ahead and bring that to the other assembly lines that are still working, okay? And that will allow us to clean up more efficiently because we want to consolidate all the bins so we're only having a very minimum number that still have ingredients left in them. Thank you.